Dear Homeschool Group, I would like to make this proposal to you, as well as to ask you to share it with other homeschool groups and Bible-believing families. I believe that Christ, in his person and his character and his teachings, can transform the world. We have all three. In fact, we have the very being of Christ, as I write this, at the time of Passover and resurrection, when Yeshua said, "This is my body," and gave it to us. We have the person of Christ with us. As you know, while it is a godly effort to homeschool our children, instead of relying on the Antichrist education system, millions of parents do rely on the Antichrist system. Some of them only do so because they believe that they must. Perhaps financial circumstances lead to this. Perhaps being unwed parents leads to this. This is where we and others come in. We choose to homeschool these children for free and for years, so that they may grow up in the Lord. What is going on is a true emergency, in which the state indoctrinates countless souls in naturalism and materialism, funding these efforts with everyone's tax dollars. How can a person in good conscience sit through an emergency and do nothing? How can a person sit through an emergency and only help themselves? It seems one cannot. Our conscience and faith both demand that we help the suffering and the lost. Therefore, please consider acting in an organized way to offer free Christian education to children whose parents would otherwise want it. These should be sincere believers who have chosen the secular system only out of necessity. In theory, we could even offer this to non-believers, but there may be more qualifications. I believe we should take in these children for free, but with the understanding that the parents take on good Christian habits at home, keep out ungodly influences at home, and are sincerely seeking to right their unfortunate circumstances so that in the future they might be able to provide such a Christian education themselves. That might mean a wife leaving the workforce and returning to the home. It might mean a single parent looking for a husband or wife. Either way, we are to ask that they are taking real steps to be able to provide that education themselves. The earliest Christians took in abandoned babies and adopted them. They raised up the babies that the pagans abandoned to die and brought them up in the Lord. Is it any wonder that they are remembered as some of the greatest disciples of Yeshua, or that the faith was growing, not just by conversions, but by the family too? We should have the same faith that they had. We should practice the same expansion of the family outward into a lost world. Providing Christian homeschool for free is only one way we can do that. Thank you very much for considering this proposal. I'd be happy to hear any thoughts or questions you have. I will also offer support to such efforts in any way that I can. Many blessings.